soon as they're up, re-establish contact with Lord Hood. Let him know.
All of you vermin, cowering in the dirt, thinking, what, I wonder, that you might escape the coming fire? For your destruction is the will of the gods.
Mayday!
Chief!
And I am their instrument.
Cocky bastard just loves to run his mouth.
Hey guys, we're back again with another discussion video. Today we're going to be talking about how Master Chief is a grandpa. Not that he has 2 generations of children. He's old, is what I'm saying. I'm joined today by Tristan is making a comeback. He was in my
they probably don't remember me.
Zelda video. I don't know if they could forget that voice. That lovely.
No, definitely. They definitely did. They're like, why is this guy here?
Tristan and I are again
Best friends.
We're good friends, but also Halo fans. And I don't think my subscriber base knew that, so that's why I said again, because I had to put that disclaimer when I talked about Sonic, because I'm like, by the way, I'm a freaking weirdo and I like Sonic the Hedgehog. But I guess I love Master Chief as well, up to Halo Reach. But we're gonna talk about it, and actually,
Master Chief wasn't actually in Halo Reach.
I know, but I was talking about Halo in general.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in Halo Reach.
Technically,
he was in Halo
we're
Reach.
not gonna count that, okay?
I'm counting that. So, before we begin, I just want to say that I actually have an official New Game Minus Discord server now, and it's fun.
Didn't tell me?
Well, I'm just starting it today. It's open, and I set it up, but
Bro, you should
today's
totally
the first
give me
day.
the information.
All right. So, Master Chief is old.
Not that old.
Well, he's old, right?
He's not Link old.
His third game, well, he's not Link old, but his third game is 10 years old now.
Yeah.
Halo 3
Which was great.
came out 10 years ago.
Now wait. Yeah.
So, I have a question for you, Tristan. Okay. Do you think, first of all, what would you define a retro game as? First and foremost.
I think that's a very flexible definition.
Right.
Most people, when they think retro, they're thinking 8-bit, 16-bit graphics, 80s, maybe 90s gameplay. Maybe not 90s, maybe like early 90s. But, definitely not like 3D graphics, released 10 years ago, Xbox 360, that's not what, in my opinion, most people define as retro.
I think the term like a retro game, and the reason we're talking about this is because I'm sure you saw the title.
Wasn't my idea.
Is Halo 3 a retro game? And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because retro games in general, the definition of a retro game is a very, everybody has their own kind of definition for it. Some people, it's like what you said, 16-bit, 8-bit, pixelated games. And for some people, it's just old games. But what's the cutoff? Is there a year how old a game has to be before? Because some people consider PS2 games retro at this point.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a certain generation back, maybe 2 or 3 generations of consoles or games. Maybe that could be considered retro. I personally just play video games. I don't.
Tristan doesn't play semantics.
Yeah.
he plays games.
Yeah.
I would say that maybe Halo 3 isn't a retro game at this point, but I think it's on the cusp of being a retro game. And that's so weird to me because it makes me feel like an old man. Even though it makes me feel like Master Chief is.
Yeah,
old. Yeah. Things we remember and like about Halo 3.
No lifing the game back in middle school.
No lifing the game?
No lifing the game. I would come on and just hop online and double XP weekend and Team Slayer, rank, team doubles. Halo 3 was a glorious multiplayer experience.
It really was. In fact, I think it's one of the games that helped popularize
Online multiplayer.
Yeah, right.
And streamline online matchmaking.
Right, because the matchmaking in Halo 3 was really kind of revolutionary almost, because it was so easy to join a queue and
before you would just like pick a map and a game type, and then it would search you with people who are looking for the same one. But now you just join a playlist,
or you just joined a server.
Yeah,
like you just clicked the server you wanted.
But now, you can find a playlist that has stuff that you want to play, and then, you'll be given a choice on whether to vote for a map or not, and if you veto it, you'll just get another randomly generated map or possibly game type. It was a quick way for everyone to get together to play.
Right.
There was no commitment. You didn't have to, like, organize people to play a certain game type on a certain map. You just joined in on the fun, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it was also a good way because a lot of people will kind of default to like one or two maps they like a lot.
Yeah,
where
but the online
you had no choice but to play all the maps.
You to get good.
Right, and enjoy the entire game instead of just sticking to TF2 fort.
Yeah, right.
And something else is cool about the multiplayer is that the supplementary like website that went along with it, sharing Forge maps, and that really helped foster a Halo community.
Bungie.net was the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Like how it would track all your kills with like different weapons and items and traffic cones. I loved seeing the little traffic cone symbol, and I thought, that's hilarious. That's funny. You can get killed by a traffic cone. 10 out of 10.
No, I love Halo Reach.
Yeah.
Halo Reach is probably one of my favorites.
That's probably to me. That's the last real Halo game.
Yeah, I'm right with you there.
Other Halo games after it, like, they're not bad games, but they're not good Halo games. They don't have that magic spark.
And there's something to say about where Bungie was trying to end the Halo franchise with Halo 3.
They were trying to end it on
so hard.
Yeah.
They're like, finish the fight. This is the last game in the series, guys. We promise.
It never is.
Well, when you're making a franchise, as long as there's money to be made, it will keep trucking.
Stop! I'm gonna tear up.
Halo has a really pretty good story, I think.
I feel like it's a very fair and respectable story.
Yeah, right. Like for a lot of first-person shooters, especially.
Yeah, most first-person shooters are just like, hey, go here, kill these people,
shoot some dudes.
And that's it. But Halo, was about, ancient alien species and, religious zealotism. And, it had all these different themes that really played well together in a science fiction universe. Also, just the Halos in general look cool. Giant space
yeah. It's a cool concept, too, as like a sci-fi. It was always
I'm going to go on ahead and burst your bubble. They ripped it off a concept in another book called Ringworld.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did.
Huh.
So sorry to burst everyone's bubble.
You heard it here first. Master Chief is old and a hack. So no, but I always thought it was a cool visual to like look when you're on a Halo ring in the first game and see the world. Ring, yeah, I always thought that was really
that would
cool.
really mess me up because I would like expect the people at the top to
fall down.
Yeah, but they never do because the ring has gravity,
yeah,
the center of gravity all around it, and it really messes you up.
So they don't
what
need
I liked more than the Halo rings though?
What's that?
The arc. I thought that was really cool. And like how they actually like sat there and actually came up with the concept for it on how it's building the Halo rings. There's a planetoid in the middle that they mine for materials to produce the Halo ring.
I gotta say, the Forerunners were really cool until Halo 4. But up until that, it was really cool. There was cool lore about it. We got hints and stuff, and a dead super scientific race trying to kill the Flood. Like, it wasn't just like, we're pure evil, we want to kill everybody because we're evil.
We're doing it because we have to.
Because the Flood's that bad.
Yeah.
We have to kill everything because that's the only way to stop it.
I feel like they also ruined the Flood after Halo 3 by making a symbiotic organism that's supposed to assimilate everything under one banner and unify all life in the unit. Like, no. Like, I want the Flood to be the terrifying space zombies that they are.
I mean, I feel like that was the original concept in the original game. So, yeah.
They were scary, and then now it's kind of ruined.
Well, just like you said, Halo Reach was the last real Halo game, so Everything after that's just kind of Halo fan fiction, I guess.
Imposters.
So when I said Master Chief is old and a hack, he's a hack.
And a ripoff.
He's
old, a hack, and a ripoff now.
Past Halo 4.
Yeah.
Or at Halo 4.
Past
Halo 3.
Past
Halo Reach.
I will go ahead and say that I have played Halo 5. And it was it was fun, but it's still, like, the story in it, I didn't like it. The gameplay is really solid, though.
No,
Really
I did not play Halo 5. And we can talk about this because this is our Halo history.
It's pretty much 1 through 3. Maybe, have you played ODST?
I have not. I've played Halo 1, Combat Evolved on the PC. I haven't finished Halo 2, but I played it and I know its story and everything. Halo 3 all the way through, and Halo Reach all the way through. And then I played Halo 4 all the way through.
And you were disappointed.
And then I did not pick up Halo 5. that was the...
Halo 5 was kind of cool. It did some really cool things, and the multiplayer, and it's kind of intuitive, but it kind of still falls flat on its face, especially story-wise, which is a shame because I really like Locke. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's got cool armor.
I think what went into a lot of the problems with or people's expectations with Halo 5 because of the marketing campaign.
Yeah.
They were marketing it as like
the best Halo
Master Chief. No, I mean obviously they're going to do that, but they were marketing as like Master Chief's a traitor. They're fighting each other.
He's not
and yeah, and they're not really in conflict that much. I've read. You know, it's not.
It's kind of just 4 guys chasing after 4 people.
They were pushing it like Civil War.
Yeah.
But it's yeah. And I think that's it burned out a lot of people. The
story kind of falls flat on its face.
Yeah.
And then it does this whole thing with sentient constructs should rule the universe for the peace of organics, and I'm like, this is Mass Effect all over again.
Something that Halo 3 really pioneered was like cinematic cutscenes because Bungie really cared about how the game was presented.
Yeah.
And of course, editing this video.
It was supposed to be part cinematic.
Right, yeah, and that's another thing of playing into the story is that they really put a lot of effort into the story campaign, like a lot.
And it was still so short, though. I felt like it could have been longer.
It's a lot like Halo 2. I'm pretty sure Halo 2 was received kind of poorly when it was released because they were kind of rushing it out. There were a lot of levels cut, and I don't know if it's the same for Halo 3, but
I don't know I haven't heard of very many stuff being cut from Halo 3, but I felt like they could have definitely worked on the story a little more. Mostly because I felt like it was too short. The story itself, self-contained, is really well written. It's got good pacing, but in terms of a video game campaign, I'm the type of guy when I'm playing a story-based game that my story at least has to be like 12 to 16 hours. I feel like it's too close at 8. Because I get involved and invested, and 8 doesn't feel like enough for me.
I think I'll disagree with you there.
Okay. Well, you're more than welcome to have your wrong opinion.
Whoa. Like, I'd rather have a concise, small narrative that works great than have that small narrative spread out. And because a lot of the times modern games are shooting for that high, like, player hour count, and they just spread content out and filler and all that crap. But so I'm okay with like a small campaign as long as it's really good. Yeah. And I think Halo 3 fills that pretty well, I think.
So I totally agree with you.
Except the flood level. I don't like the flood level.
It scared me when I first played through the campaign. Yeah.
Did you play Halo 2?
No, just on that mission though.
Did you play Halo 2?
Because I didn't expect all of a sudden the screen to turn
and
it was like, roar, and I was like, oh my god, this is scary for middle school me. I'm gonna go wet the bed now. I didn't actually.
You wet the bed in middle school? No. I'm gonna leave this in. I'm gonna repeat it. I'm gonna put it on a loop.
If you do, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna go wet the bed now. I'm gonna go wet the bed now. I'm gonna go wet the bed now. I'm gonna go wet the. But no, I really appreciate the campaign, but it's like, I like a lot of I like multiplayer content, but I also like single player content. And the game's kind of lacking on the single player end of things. It usually kind of leaves me wanting a little more.
Well, I think that's
which is why I liked Firefight, because you could go into Firefight solo back in Halo ODST or Halo Reach.
And I think that's why that's why they felt comfortable making the campaign maybe a little shorter than most games, because the multiplayer content was so expansive. Like that is hours and hours and hours and hours of content. And yeah, and when you run out of Bungie content, you can make your own content.
But I feel like they need to expand beyond like one racing game, Gears of War, and Halo for their exclusives.
We're talking about Xbox now.
I feel like they should have retired Master Chief at Halo 3 because that was it. That was the trilogy. It was the Golden Triangle. It was Microsoft's Triforce, right? It was beautiful. And that
doesn't mean you have to stop the Halo universe. That's just the end of Master Chief's story.
I wouldn't have minded if they did like Halo 3 ODST, follow an ODST, or maybe you play as an elite in one game. But I felt like the Golden Triangle of Master Chief was his main story. Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3. The books were cool supplemental material, but that was really like what made Halo Halo. And then they were like, yeah, we're gonna play as Master Chief in Halo 4. Like I liked Halo ODST because it was different. It explored a totally uncaptured part of the Halo universe.
People were upset when that game came out.
They were.
That it was just like the same.
But I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
I haven't played it, so I don't really. I heard it was people like it now, but
it's different.
People like it now since Halo 4 came out. They're like, well, Halo 3 wasn't so bad.
Yeah. It's different, and because it's Halo 3, we can talk about it because it's got Halo 3 right there. In the title.
Loophole is okay. So I'm sorry, we've already concluded that Halo 3 isn't a retro game. It's Halo 3 ODST a retro game. Yes,
absolutely.
It came out later, but yes,
it is. I think just in general, I really liked just hopping online and playing Griffball on the weekends, or playing that modded map Spacious Infection games. Infection was the shit.
I mean, people loved it so much. It's like a full-blown game mode now.
Yeah,
so
they had their own there was this huge community that sprouted up around Infection game types. You had the spaceship one where the elephants were stuck up in the air and zombies were trying to shoot the elephants out of the air, or Fat Man or Fat Boy or whatever, where the alpha zombie is super slow, but then like all the zombies that they spawn after that are like super fast. And it was just really cool. And the cool thing is that your goal wasn't to survive. It was just to survive as long as possible against your inevitable end. Yeah. And some people were really clever about it on how they... it was a lot of fun, and I distinctly have like nostalgia for those moments.
Yeah, I completely agree. Playing Infection was like, as a kid, it was very unique experience, because it's almost like what Left 4 Dead offers, kind of, where it's like
a little.
It's kind of scary as a kid, because you're surviving.
Yeah.
And it puts you in a scenario where like
you're not comfortable with.
For Halo, for a Spartan, the entire game you're being empowered. In this game mode, you're not.
Yeah.
You're running
the zombies
away.
Are gonna win.
Yeah, right. I mentioned earlier the community around Halo's Online, where people making their own custom game modes, Bungie's completely supporting them, putting their game modes in official playlists, and just harboring that community. It was great.
Empowering, the creators of this content. Like, they did not expect Forge to be as big as it was in Halo 3, and it was so phenomenal, and people found out so many ways to do things that a lot of the glitches and exploits that they found in Halo 3 Forge were implemented as full-fledged features in the following game.
Forge was awesome, right?
Yeah, you know what?
There's so many fun mini games.
So I have to go on ahead and be honest here. This is actually a very distinct memory I have. I remember reading a Game Informer magazine about Halo 3 and how you were going to be able to put vehicles and stuff on the maps. And my little brain thought you could put a Scarab on there. And I wanted to be able to put a Scarab on one of the Halo 3 maps and ride it around. I was tripping on power.
Bummer.
So you imagine my disappointment. That the first thing I did when I got Halo 3, didn't even play the campaign. I went into Forge to see if I could put a Scarab on the map.
So a very specific Halo 3 memory I have is really my brother and I, we were kind of sheltered children. We were very Nintendo fanboys, and we we were maybe like 12 or 13, and we had just gotten to the age where we're like, oh, there's other gaming systems.
Other than Nintendo.
And so we got a PS2, and eventually we got ourselves on an Xbox. And of course we didn't have online yet, but we got a refurbished one without any memory or anything. It was one of the old white ones. And my brother and I co-opted the entire campaign
Of Halo?
of Halo 3 in one sitting
was fun,
without a memory card. We didn't mind because we were having so much fun. But because we like this is like
That hurt.
we didn't have like any USB drives. I have them now, and that's
Yeah.
the same Xbox you can see. But yeah.
So how did you survive all these years without having like a hard drive?
That's like one of my favorite memories, though, because we were just so enthralled by this
you
world.
didn't even
It was
care.
something completely different that we've never experienced before.
And that's why the games
So
left
it's-
such a big mark on you. Yeah. Yeah, the closest thing you guys had back with your Nintendos was Samus.
Samus could totally beat Master Chief in a fight. I'm
I
thinking.
don't know.
Do you know how many powers Samus has?
You know how
A
badass
fully
Master
upgraded
Chief-
Samus
Master-
could easily beat.
Master Chief literally fell from space
That's
and
pretty
survived.
true. That's
Look,
true.
I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that if they tag team, we're fucked.
That's also very true.
Yeah.
Something that we haven't talked about so far is, and we are going a little bit long. I might have to trim the fat of this conversation a little bit, but because I want to 10 to 15 minutes ish.
Yeah.
Is something we didn't talk about is a lot of the religious imagery and references that are in Halo 3.
The Covenant, the Prophet.
Yeah, there's so much.
The Great Journey. There's a lot of religious themes and
You mentioned
imagery.
the Ark.
The Ark.
For God's sakes, like
Yeah,
it's
Halos.
yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much in it, and it's John.
Yeah, John.
Halo's or
117.
Halo's name.
Yeah, or the literal like thing it's named after.
Yeah, it's
You know, I guess you could say that the commencing of the firing sequence for the Halos is kind of like the Rapture.
right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they pulled a lot of ideas from.
I mean, it's
But-
kind of cool though, because if you think about it, like when Halo's being made, like people, you know, doing terrible things in the name of religion, like wiping out an entire group of people, like the Covenant's doing to humanity, was like a big theme and topic that was going on in, you know, current events. So it kind of came out at a time where I guess people could go through and play the game and actually just take a step back if they were actually woke enough to realize it and think, wow, this applies a lot.
I just brought up that topic to say that Master Chief is Space Jesus. So that's all I wanted to
So
say.
his name isn't Jesus, it's John.
Right, but
They both start with J, I'll give you that.
he's basically Jesus, right? He sacrificed his life until Halo 4 to save everybody.
No, he just went to sleep.
Yeah, with
For a
no
really long time.
with no count of that was Bungie's way of ending the game,
Uh-huh.
but not ending the game because I'm 100% sure they maybe wanted to kill Master Chief,
That
and
legendary
Microsoft was
planet.
like, "Hey guys, don't do that."
I wish they did. Bungie should have done it anyways.
Like I've said this already, but Microsoft didn't have to give up on the Halo universe. They
Yeah.
could have just moved on without Master Chief.
That's what I would have preferred.
Maybe that would lose some people, but I mean, those people that would have left have already left.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Kind of shot yourselves in the foot,
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Don't
Don't fuck up Halo 6, Microsoft. I'm
Well,
serious.
I don't have high hopes for
I don't
the Halo
either.
games at this point.
Bungie, come back. Look, I know you're working on Destiny,
No,
and I love
just
you, but
stay
come
away
back.
from this franchise, Bungie. Like,
why?
They jumped ship. Like they knew Bungie knew from the get go. That's why they were so hard. No, Halo 3 is the last Halo game.
Yeah.
Last one. And then like Microsoft's like, please make one more. And they're like, okay, but it's not going to continue the storyline. It's going to be a prequel.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then they left to go work on Destiny.
Right, because they were done.
Yeah.
And
They wanted to move on to
They
something
saw
new.
Halo as done. And that's where I see
And
it
then
as done as
Microsoft
well.
said, no.
There's money. I smell money, Master Chief.
Yeah.
Closing statements? You already said it.
I like video games.
I also like video games. Well, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next week for a How to Play Roadhog video. Do you play Overwatch, Tristan?
No.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.